Megan and welcome back to my channel. Today is my 20-week pregnancy update. So if you're brand new here, I am 21 weeks pregnant with baby number 3, our little rainbow baby. It is another little boy. I have a 4-year-old and a 2.5-year-old boy, or 2 boys. And so yes, I am 21 weeks. I am over halfway done and definitely starting to feel pregnant. So recently I got my anatomy scan and not much has changed except for my anatomy scan. So I'm going to talk all about that, all about his little measurements. So let's get to it. Now, first off, if you have not joined the Days in May family, make sure to hit that subscribe button and the little bell next to it so that you can join this baby ride, this rainbow baby ride. And if you can hear my crazy kids, they are out there refusing to nap. And then I also have my cat going crazy. And there's a gardener. So lots going on, but this is real life. So I wrote down all of his measurements that the ultrasound gave me. So I can go through the measurements with you guys, and then I will tell you what my app, I use Pregnancy Plus app on my Android phone. I believe they have it for Android and iOS, and then you can have like the free version and then there's like the paid version. I just do the free version. I've done this before. This is not my first rodeo. So it never gave me his actual like from head to heel or head to toe. Didn't give me that measurement, but they measured every single piece of him. And he was so stubborn. He was like scrunched up in a little ball, was really mad whenever the guy was like pushing. And I did have like a guy doing the ultrasound, which is the first time for me ever. It was like a grandpa guy. He was really, really nice. But every time that he would push down to get the picture, this baby was just like, no, no, and just like pushing him away. It was hilarious. So how he is sitting in me is breech still, has been breech. He has been breech the entire time. So I'm kind of nervous about that. I don't know if he's going to turn. Obviously if he doesn't turn, I'll need a C-section. But that's pretty much the only thing that was maybe stopping my plan of having a vaginal birth this time. I've had 2 vaginal births before, but I did have a placenta previa last time, and this time my placenta is totally fine. It's in the back, it's posterior, and it's a good few centimeters away from my cervix, so that means it's even got more time to move up, which it will. I did notice how big my placenta was, which was kind of crazy. Like, he immediately puts it on there, and it's like this thing that just looks huge, and he's measuring where it's at and stuff, and I'm like it just looked massive. So since he is in the breech position, his spine is along with my spine. And then his head is kind of just sitting where my belly button is, and he's just staring out. Obviously he moves and stuff, but every time they do an ultrasound, he's just like propped up, like sitting like this, like just looking out. It's kind of a little weird. So what I'm feeling lower must be his feet, and then what I'm feeling up higher is his head and then his arms. He had his little hands next to his face. I will insert any pictures because we did get a bunch of pictures, but they're like, it's kind of hard to show you guys here, so I'll insert them. But he had his little hands like by his nose the entire time. So he was trying to, the ultrasound tech was trying to like see this part to make sure there's no cleft lip, and he had to wait until the end because little guy just went like this. And then finally at the end, he like showed his face, and he's got the cutest little face. You can already see he's got my like big lips. He's got those lips, and he has my nose, which all the boys do. That my nose, I get it from my dad and that side of the family. Yeah, that's something that is definitely passed on. So his heart rate was beating at 148, and that's pretty much been him since the beginning. He is usually around the 150s. So everything with his heart looked good. Everything with his brain, with his head, with his umbilical cord, with his arms, with his legs, all fingers, all toes, his boy stuff. He spread those legs, and he definitely showed us he is most definitely a boy. Now, when I went in for this ultrasound, my gestational age was 20 weeks and 2 days. So then when they did all the measurements, it came out to be, he's about 20 weeks. So obviously, give or take, like a week and 3 days, I think is what they said on the results. All I got was like the results page. So his different type of measurements, his biparietal, I believe, diameter measured at 19 weeks and 2 days. And supposedly that one is like really accurate, I guess. I never got the results for my other boys, so I'm not sure. So he will definitely be delivered by his due date. I will not go over because I do have quite large kids. And he's over 12 ounces a week ago. So I know that he is probably going to be a chunky kid, even if he's kind of smaller and other aspects, but I know that parts of the baby grow at different times, so just going off of what they told me. So his head circumference is showing that he was 19 weeks and 5 days. His belly is measuring 20 weeks and 6 days. So his belly was quite big. And I remember that with both boys, that their bellies are just like these chunky bellies from the start. Now his femur, it was really cool to see his femur. It looked like a little wrench in the picture. I'll insert it here now. But his little legs were so cute. You could see the kneecap, you could see the calf muscles. It was so adorable. So his femur is measuring 20 weeks. So I think that's why they go with 20 weeks, because his femur is measuring that. So his height is about 20 weeks long. So I think that's kind of why that's what they picked. And like I said, his weight was 12.31 ounces. And his, in grams, that's 349 grams. Because they measure in grams, I just switched over to ounces. So he is decent size. He's what he's supposed to be. According to my app, he is the size of a cantaloupe. So that kind of seems big. Like, that seems really big to me. It's about the size of a cantaloupe, or he's the size of a kitten, or he's the size of a large popcorn. Very interesting ways of measuring a baby. But like I said, I didn't get the full measurement, but I got to see everything, and he is just so darn cute already. Like I said, I noticed that his hands, I don't know if I've told you, like his hands seem really big to me. So I don't know if he's kind of got to grow into these big hands. And then his feet didn't look super big. I remember Nolan's feet always looking really big, and they weren't really that big. So there's no way of knowing when he's going to come, how he's going to look, all that kind of fun stuff, but it was so awesome to see him. As for me being 21 weeks pregnant, as you guys know, I am getting over a cold, and I'm finally starting to get towards the end of it. I laid out in the sun today, and I feel like I got quite a bit of sun, so I've got to be careful with that because my skin it's fresh. But it's so nice to just feel the warmth. I think that's going to make me feel so much better. Pregnancy symptoms, not really anything except feeling him move a lot, starting to feel kind of the strain on my stomach, like the muscles, everything's stretching. But if I stand up for a really long time, I can just feel it. Like, it just feels like my stomach is heavy. I don't have any back pain. I don't have any trouble sleeping. I do have crazy dreams. I will have that my whole pregnancy. I have that normally, but with being pregnant, it's a million times worse. I'm constantly thirsty, but it is starting to warm up here. So I'm just thirsty. I just want water all the time. And I'm dealing with crazy kids. I don't know if you can hear them, but that is pretty much everything for my 20-week pregnancy update. I'm going to show you guys the belly shot, but if you have any questions whatsoever, leave those down below, because I'm going to be doing a pregnancy Q&A. I have some questions from people, so that is going to be a next time's video on Friday. So I try to post these pregnancy updates every Wednesday if my computer and YouTube can cooperate, because recently they have not been. So every Wednesday is a pregnancy update, so if you want to keep along with this rainbow baby journey, please hit that subscribe button and join the Days of Me family. Give this video a big thumbs up, leave me a comment. I love to hear what you guys have to say, and let's get to the belly shot.